What do you call a note that gives preliminary information before the main part? I'm looking for a single word, if not, a natural phrase, for a note that you write before starting the main article, /part, /question, etc. It can give preliminary information, in general. However, it can be a mild warning, but I would like to avoid calling it a warning which is too strong, or a reminder. Thus, we can call it a reminder, but I want a more general word. An example context would be, when you are posting a question on Stack Exchange sites, you put a note in advance that people read it before the question and you make them think twice before posting an answer. You remind them that the question is not about this or that, etc. For example, ________. This question is not only about finding a single word. I would like to get a detailed answer that addresses all the related questions. Main question. I considered the word note itself, but I want to distinguish it from the notes that you write after or during the main part. Then, advanced note 1 came to my mind as a phrase, but it also has another meaning and can be confused with advanced notice. Prenote 2 could be a nice word, but it does not sound that natural and dictionaries list it as a verb only. There are of course words, like preface and prologue, but they are usually too formal and comes before longer written works like novels. Caveat 3 is similar to warning, but it might give special instructions. Can it be the word I'm looking for? I might have seen it used in this way on LNU, but it is used in law also. I might be overthinking and the answer might be very simple, but I wanted to give as much information as I can. You might also talk about differences between words that fit to similar settings. 1. A draft on owners or agents of a ship drawn by the master for the benefit of a sailor, usually for 1 month's advance wages, MW. 2. Trans. To note or mention previously. OED. 3. An explanation, a warning that should be remembered when you are doing or thinking about something, MW.
A suitable word for your brief introduction is preamble. It's not as formal as preface, and can be as short as a sentence, which would be unusual for a preface. Preamble can be countable or a mass noun, as Oxford Dictionary shows. A preliminary or preparatory statement, an introduction. He could tell that what she said was by way of a preamble. I gave him the bad news without preamble odo. It's pronounced as 3 syllables, and does have the same root as amble, medieval Latin preambulum, from late Latin preambulus, going before.
I'd usually use preface in this sense, and I'd argue it's most common. There's also précis, though I think that it's more commonly used to describe a sort of brief preliminary synopsis.
NB, maybe something might be interesting to note well.
If we forget about Stack Exchange for a moment, and everything after the first 2 paragraphs, abstract fits nicely. Abstract, summary, Wikipedia. An abstract is a brief summary of a research article, thesis, review, conference proceeding, or any in-depth analysis of a particular subject or discipline, and is often used to help the reader quickly ascertain the paper's purpose. When used, an abstract always appears at the beginning of a manuscript or typescript, acting as the point of entry for any given academic paper or patent application.
Preempt. Preempt/verb. Take action in order to prevent an anticipated event from happening, forestall, acquire, or appropriate something in advance or Google. A preamble is simply something said beforehand. A preemption offers an introductory caveat. Also, prompt might fit where appropriate.
If you want to avoid a challenge, please consider